You are comfortable. That is exactly why you are failing. Look at your life right now. You have a roof over your head, you have food in the fridge, and you have a screen in front of your face that gives you endless entertainment. You are safe. But this safety is the most dangerous thing in the world. It is a soft trap. It is slowly putting your ambition to sleep. You keep waiting for the right time to start. You keep waiting to feel like it. But I am here to tell you the harsh truth that no one else will say. That feeling is never coming. You are rotting in potential. The Stoics knew that comfort is the enemy of greatness. If you don't wake up and declare war on your own laziness today, you are going to sleepwalk through the rest of your life. Let's be honest. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow. I'll start the diet tomorrow. I'll write the book tomorrow. I'll ask for the raise tomorrow. I'll fix my relationship tomorrow." We are all guilty of this. We treat tomorrow like it is this magical land where we have infinite energy, infinite discipline, and infinite courage. We think the future you is going to be a superhero. But when tomorrow comes, you are still the same tired, scared, distracted person you are today. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote about this. He said, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire." He meant that you live as if you are going to live forever. You waste hours, days, and years doing things that don't matter, thinking you have an unlimited supply of time. You scroll through social media for 3 hours and don't think twice about it. You binge watch a show you don't even like. You stay in a job that makes you miserable because it pays the bills. But you don't have unlimited time. You are dying. Every second that ticks by is a second you never get back. The sand in the hourglass is running out, and you are sitting there watching it fall, paralyzed by your own comfort. Today, we are going to break that paralysis. We are going to look at why your brain is wired to keep you lazy and how you can use Stoic philosophy to rewire it. We aren't talking about motivation. Motivation is garbage. It comes and goes like the wind. We are talking about discipline. We are talking about duty. We are talking about becoming the person you were meant to be, not the person you settled for. Why is it so hard to do the hard things? Why is it easier to eat a burger than to cook a healthy meal? Why is it easier to play video games than to build a business? It is biology. Your brain is designed for survival, not for success. Thousands of years ago, calories were scarce. Danger was everywhere. So your brain evolved to do 3 things: conserve energy, be lazy, seek pleasure, eat food, avoid pain, run from danger. This kept your ancestors alive, but in the modern world, this mechanism is destroying you. Conserving energy now looks like lying on the couch for 6 hours. Seeking pleasure now looks like an addiction to sugar, porn, and likes on Instagram. Avoiding pain now looks like avoiding the gym, avoiding difficult conversations, and avoiding risks. You are fighting millions of years of evolution. That voice in your head that says, just 5 more minutes of sleep, or just 1 more video, isn't you. It is your biology. It is the animal part of your brain begging for comfort. Most people listen to the animal. They let the animal drive the car. They live their entire lives chasing dopamine hits. They are slaves to their impulses. If they feel hungry, they eat. If they feel tired, they sleep. If they feel bored, they scroll. They have 0 gap between the urge and the action. The Stoics called this being a slave. They believed that true freedom isn't about doing whatever you want. True freedom is about being master of your own mind. If you cannot say no to a donut, you are not free. If you cannot put down your phone, you are not free. You are a servant to your own cravings. And the result? A life of mediocrity. A life of almost. You almost started that business. You almost got in shape. You almost learned that language. But you didn't,
because it was hard and you chose easy. The problem isn't that you are incapable. The problem is that you are waiting for the struggle to disappear. You think that successful people don't feel fear or laziness. You are wrong. They feel it just as much as you do. The difference is they don't let it vote. So how do we kill the laziness? How do we override the biology? We need a system. We need a philosophy that glorifies the struggle instead of running from it. 1. Marcus Aurelius and the morning battle. Let's look at the most powerful man in the world, Marcus Aurelius. He was the emperor of Rome. He could have done anything he wanted. He could have slept until noon every day. Servants would have brought him food in bed. No one would have stopped him. But he struggled with getting up, just like you. In his personal journal, Meditations, he wrote an argument to himself. He wakes up in a warm, comfortable bed and thinks, I don't want to get up. It's cold outside. People are annoying. I just want to stay here. But then he catches himself. He writes, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm? He asks himself, was I made for comfort, or was I made for action? But it's nicer here, his lazy brain says, and he answers, so you were born to feel nice instead of doing things and experiencing them? Don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants and spiders and bees going about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can, and you're not willing to do your job as a human being? This is the shift you need to make. You need to realize that work is nature. Action is life. To be lazy is to go against nature. When you sit around doing nothing, you feel gross, don't you? You feel sluggish. You feel a low-level guilt. That is your soul telling you that you are violating your purpose. You were built to move. You were built to create. You were built to solve problems. Stop looking at work as a punishment. Look at it as your function. A hammer is made to hit nails. If a hammer stays in the toolbox, it is useless. You are the hammer. The world is the nail. Get to work. 2. Voluntary discomfort. The Stoics didn't just tolerate pain, they practiced it. Seneca used to set aside days where he would eat only the cheapest food and wear rough, coarse clothes. He would sleep on the floor. Why? He was a rich man. He didn't have to do that. He did it to toughen his mind. He wanted to prove to himself that he could survive without luxury. He wanted to kill the fear of poverty. This is a powerful tool for you. We have become too soft. We panic if the Wi-Fi is slow. We panic if the AC breaks. We're terrified of being uncomfortable. You need to reintroduce voluntary discomfort into your life. Take a cold shower, not because it has health benefits, even though it does, but because your brain hates it. Your brain screams, no, it's cold, don't go in there, and you step in anyway. When you do that, you are training the muscle of discipline. You are teaching your brain that you are the boss, not your feelings. Go for a run when it is raining. Fast for 24 hours. Leave your phone in the other room for a whole day. Sit in silence without music. Do things that suck purposefully. When you get good at doing things that suck, the rest of life becomes easy. If you can handle a freezing cold shower at 6 a.m., a difficult email from a client is nothing. You build an armor of toughness. Laziness cannot survive in a mind that seeks out challenges.
3. Amor Fati. Love the resistance. There is a concept called the War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, which aligns perfectly with Stoicism. He talks about a force called resistance. Resistance is that invisible force field that pushes you away from your work. It is the fear you feel before you start writing. It is the excuses you make before you go to the gym. It is the procrastination that makes you clean your entire house instead of doing your taxes. Resistance is a compass. It always points to the thing you need to do the most.
You don't feel resistance towards watching TV. You don't feel resistance towards eating cake. You only feel it towards things that will help you grow. The Stoic approach is Amor Fati. Love your fate. Don't just tolerate the resistance. Love it. When you feel that friction, when you feel that desire to quit, smile. Say, there it is. There is the resistance. That means I am going in the right direction. The obstacle is the way. The struggle is the path. If it were easy, everyone would do it. The fact that it is hard is what makes it valuable. The gym is crowded in January and empty in February. Why? Because it got hard. If you can be the person who stays when it gets hard, you win. You have no competition. Most people fold the moment they feel discomfort. So when you feel lazy, don't view it as a stop sign. View it as a green light. That feeling is the signal to push harder. 4. Memento Mori, the urgency of now. We need to go back to the idea of death. It sounds morbid, but it is the greatest motivator in history. Memento Mori. Remember, you must die. Imagine you are visiting a doctor today. He runs some tests. He comes back into the room. His face is pale. He sits you down and says, "I'm sorry. You have a rare condition. You have exactly 1 year left to live." How would your life change? Would you still care about what people think of you on social media? Would you still be afraid to ask that person out? Would you still waste your weekends sleeping in? Would you stay in that job you hate? No, you would instantly strip away all the nonsense. You would focus only on what matters. You would live with intensity. You would say, "I love you" more. You would work on your legacy. You would stop procrastinating because you literally cannot afford to wait. Well, here's the news. You do have a terminal diagnosis. It's called life. None of us are getting out of this alive. You might have 1 year, you might have 50, but you don't know. You could walk out the door today and get hit by a bus. The Stoics kept death close to them, not to be sad, but to be alive. When you realize your time is finite, laziness becomes a crime. It is a crime against yourself. Every time you say, "I'll do it later," you are gambling with time you might not have. Stop acting like you have 1,000 years. You don't. Wake up. This is it. This is your life. It is happening right now. It is not a dress rehearsal. 5. Process over outcome. One of the biggest reasons we get lazy is that the goal seems too big. You want to lose 50 pounds. You look at the scale and you see a mountain. It feels impossible, so you give up before you start. You want to build $1 million business, but you have $0. It feels impossible, so you watch Netflix instead. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we control. You cannot control the outcome. You cannot control losing 50 pounds. That is a result. You can only control your choices today. You can control what you eat for breakfast. You can control if you walk for 20 minutes. Forget the mountain. Look at your feet. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, said, "Well-being is realized by small steps, but is truly no small thing." Greatness is just a lot of small things done well, day after day. Don't try to write a book, just write 1 page. Don't try to get a six-pack, just do 10 push-ups. Don't try to change your life, just change your morning. Laziness feeds on overwhelm. Action feeds on small wins. When you lower the bar, you make it impossible to say no. Can you do 1 minute of exercise? Yes, anyone can. So, do that. Once you start, the momentum kicks in. The hardest part of a rocket launch is the first few seconds. It takes almost all the fuel just to get off the ground. But once it is moving, it is easy to keep moving. You just need to get off the ground. 6. Killing the boy psychology. Psychology talks about the pure eternus, the eternal boy. This is the adult who refuses to grow up. He wants the rewards of a man, but the responsibilities of a child. He wants the money, but not the work. He wants the relationship, but not the compromise. He lives in a fantasy world of potential. I could write a great book if I wanted to. I could be a pro athlete if I tried. This is the lie of the eternal boy. Potential means nothing. You can't take potential to the bank. You can't build a legacy on potential. The world doesn't care what you could do. It only cares about what you do. To become a Stoic, to become an adult, you have to kill the boy. You have to accept that life is hard. You have to accept that no one is coming to save you. Your parents aren't coming to wake you up. Your teacher isn't coming to check your homework. It is all on you. This is a scary thought, but it is also empowering. If it is all on you, that means you have the power to change it. You are the architect. You are the builder. You are the hero. But a hero who stays in bed is not a hero. A hero acts. I want you to close your eyes for a second. Imagine you are at the end of your life. You are old, you are lying in a bed, you are taking your final breaths. Suddenly, a person walks into the room. This person looks exactly like you, but there is something different. They are fit, they are strong, they have a calmness in their eyes. They look accomplished, they look happy. This person comes over to your bedside, and you realize this is the you that could have been. This is the you that didn't hit snooze. This is the you that went to the gym. This is the you that started the business. This is the you that faced the fears. This is the you that lived with discipline. Now, imagine looking at that person. How does it feel? Does it feel like inspiration, or does it feel like hell? The definition of hell is meeting the person you could have been and realizing you became a stranger to them. Don't let that happen. That version of you is waiting for you right now, but they are on the other side of pain. They are on the other side of discipline. They are on the other side of doing things you don't want to do. Every time you choose comfort, you are killing that superior version of yourself. Every time you choose discipline, you are breathing life into them. You are constantly casting a vote for who you want to be. Are you voting for the lazy, regretful coward, or are you voting for the strong, capable warrior? The polls are open every single morning when your alarm goes off. Stop waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle, but you are a miracle that needs to work. The Stoics didn't believe in hope. They believed in action. They didn't pray for lighter loads. They trained for stronger backs. Your potential is screaming at you. It is begging you to let it out. Don't drown it in Netflix. Don't suffocate it with excuses. Unleash it. You are going to feel resistance tomorrow morning. Good. You are going to feel fear. Good. You are going to feel tired. Good. That means you are alive. That means you are in the game. Get up, get moving, do the hard thing. Not because you have to, but because you are the kind of person who does. Because you respect yourself too much to be average. Because you know that on the other side of that suffering is the only thing that matters, a life with no regrets. If you are done making excuses and ready to commit to the hard path, subscribe to the channel and start your transformation today.